time, something jumps out at you. Ooh, I almost had one that time. You better watch out.
Hello everyone, this is HCJ Halloween, and today I am back with another sneak peek video. Now before I get started, I do want to just explain why I am skipping the flying vulture. Some of you might have been expecting my next video to be on him instead of the Looming Strawman, which this one is going to be on. But the thing is that I really just want to catch up as fast as possible with these sneak peeks, and I didn't really have all that much to say for the flying vulture. It wasn't a video that I was super excited to make because it honestly didn't really impress me or disappoint me. It just seems like it's almost kind of a Screeching Bat 2.0, even though I don't believe it's made by the same company. But there's nothing that I really hate about it, nothing I really love about it. I think that the head looks pretty cool. Not a super fan of the way the wings look and how little movement they have. But other than that, there wasn't much else to say about it. I do believe, though, that if he is one that you guys really like, he's probably going to be one you should add to your list to pick up this year because he's going to be definitely much more affordable than any of the props we're going to see this year because he's only going for $70. So that's basically all I have to say about the flying vulture. So like I said, today's video is on the Looming Strawman. This sneak peek actually came out minutes after I was checking my phone when I got home from camp, but obviously I'm not getting my video up till now because I had all the other ones to catch up on. But this guy doesn't impress me all that much. The thing that I immediately dislike about him is the clothing. I feel as if the clothing is very plain, not much effort was put into the design or the choice. I think he would have looked better with a plaid shirt because at least would have brought in a little bit more detail. You can't see his jeans in this photo, but they're basically just the regular blue fabric that they use, and then they just have straight brown fabric for the shirt. I guess one design that they kind of added was that wavy cut looking piece up at the top with some string tying it together. I guess that's a bit of something, but for some reason, the clothes just don't impress me. Now, another thing that I find to be a huge downside of this guy is his movement. So obviously he is a lurching animatronic where his arms clasp together to jump out at you, and that's all fine and good. But the thing is, and you can tell this even better in the product video on Spirit Halloween's website than you can in the sneak peek, his arms do not move very far at all. It's kind of reminiscent of Deadly Roots, where the arms just move pathetically not far. When you watch him in the video on Spirit Halloween's website, you can see that he moves his arms not very far and then stays in that position for quite a while and then goes back. I feel like Deadly Roots was more of like a immediate retraction, not 100% sure, but it just looks pretty bad. It doesn't go out as far as it should. I feel as if they should clasp almost all the way together. Not sure if the reasoning that they can't do that is because that would be a hazard to people. You know, if it really couldn't fit in a certain area, might get broken or might hurt somebody else. Maybe even in the store, if it was lurching that far, it might be able to hurt someone. That might be the reasoning. Maybe they just don't have the mechanisms to do a motion like that or to support that violent of emotion. But for some reason, the lurching props like Deadly Roots, like this scarecrow that don't go very far, look absolutely pathetic to me. And they probably have good reason that they can't create animatronics where the arms swing all the way out. So I would normally give them the benefit of the doubt for that one downside if it had enough positives to cancel that out. However, that is not the case for this guy. The only thing that I really do like about him is the face. I think the face is really awesome. It's interesting how they went with like a latex design to look like burlap rather than just going with actual burlap like they normally do. I kind of like how it looks, so I think it gives it this more distorted, creepy look. And I also like how the eyes and the mouth are tied up with string, and definitely am a fan of the red eyes glowing behind those laced up strings. But once again, another downside for me is the voice. The phrases themselves don't bother me too much, but I do kind of agree with Mac over at Hauntformer, who did talk about how the phrases these days, and especially on this animatronic, seem like they're leading up to the jump scare, which just doesn't make it as scary. I think it would be better if the jump scare happened before and he lurched out and then had his phrase, instead of having all this build up where people may miss him lurching out or may expect it happening. So that's a downside with the phrases, but the phrases, exactly what it says doesn't bother me. I think the phrases are kind of cool and creepy, but the voice itself is also a downside for me. The voice sounds like a regular man. It sounds like this regular dude. It doesn't sound like there was any editing placed over it. It's not a super deep voice, just kind of this southern sounding, like kind of southern voice that sounds very, very normal. You would expect from this prop some type of demonic, very creepy, deep, edited voice sound. I don't know exactly what it would be, but it's definitely not what they gave it, because what they gave it sounds so generic. It sounds just like a regular human speaking with basically no work done to that soundtrack. And the problem with it is that it might work if you're supposed to assume that there's a guy dressed up as a scarecrow, but just looking at the face of this thing, it definitely is not made to look like that. It almost is made to look like a scarecrow that came to life, that's possessed or demonic in some way, definitely not just a regular man behind a scarecrow mask. Now, for me, all of these downsides add up to make for a pretty bad prop, but maybe it would all be okay if he was going for $120, $130, maybe even $150 would be fair. But no, guys, this is the second most expensive release that we've seen this year, going for $240. I have absolutely no idea why Spirit Halloween would put him at such a high price. Maybe they thought he's going to be a really good seller this year, and that might be the case. However, I am definitely super disappointed with this guy and super disappointed with that price tag. There's so many other releases this year that I think are much better that you can put $240 or less towards and definitely get a lot more worth it of a product back. So I do not recommend wasting your money on this thing. I don't see where the $240 goes in. He doesn't have a lot of animation. He just has light up eyes, the audio and the lurching. We've seen that many times before without having to be placed at such a high price. So definitely super disappointed with this release. Probably my least favorite release thus far. So guys, that is about all I have to say for the Looming Strawman. I know I ended on kind of a disappointing note, but I just wanted to be completely honest with you guys about how I feel. Most of these releases this year, I'm super impressed with. I think it's going to be a great year for Spirit as a whole, but just this animatronic on its own, not a fan of it. So like I said, I do not recommend putting your money towards this animatronic. However, there is a lot of other awesome releases this year, so I will still be providing you guys with a discount promo code in the description of this video, along with my Spirit Halloween affiliate link. If you wish to purchase anything on that link, it will help out the channel at no extra cost to you. And once again, I will have that discount code to help you guys out with whatever your purchase happens to be. So please do let me know your thoughts on the Looming Strawman. Maybe I'm just being too harsh on him. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. But one other thing that I did want to say is that by now you can probably see a pattern in a majority of the releases so far. We have seen a lot of barn farm-esque props. So I'm guessing that that is going to be some type of a theme this year, probably going to be one of the 2 or 3 themes that we see for 2018, and that is pretty exciting to think about. Now, we do have some other kinds of props, though. We have the licensed props, as well as the rocking horse dolly, and now Hugs the Clown, which, by the way, I will try to come out with my video on him as soon as possible tonight. So we're definitely trying to figure out still what the other theme might be. So I'd also like to see what you guys think the themes are going to be this year in the comment section below. And that is going to be it for this video. A link to follow me on Instagram will be in the description, and I will see you guys next time.